Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to No Man's Sky. This nightmarish hellscape before us is the planet of Rapulangleri, which is very toxic. 52.4% toxicity. I imagine this planet would basically be a non-starter for most, but I do have the toxicity shielding, which is at least allowing me to spend a little bit of time out here and refill with like zinc or titanium in order to get it back up and running. And there's some interesting things on this planet, namely some more abandoned buildings. Now, I've actually thought the story that I'm getting from the abandoned buildings so far has been pretty interesting. As you can see, something terrible has happened in each of these, and there's this sort of... I'm getting a very Zerg-like creep thing going on, where maybe this amorphous creature came in here, although it now appears dead, and these are eyeballs. And you may question that these look like eyeballs, but I'm pretty sure we've been kind of explicitly told in the past that it has like a horrifying number of eyes, that sort of thing. And so I'm assuming that's kind of what these are. The next bit of the story from the abandoned buildings, we should be able to get right here. Derelict, interact, abandoned building. And this one doesn't quite seem as dead, considering it's pulsing. And whenever I come back to these, I want to point out in the lower left there, it's saying returning user identified. Terminal now active, unlocking data log, continuation for analysis. So it really seems like the various story elements within No Man's Sky are delivered in a way that you encounter like part 1 the first time you go to an abandoned building, and then part 2, part 3, part 4, etc., etc. And we're getting farther and farther down that path. So this time we get the oceans here are blood. Nothing lives in them. They are alive themselves. Great protein life forms as large as continents. Or perhaps there is only one of them. What does such a thing consume, I ask myself? The answer seems to be everything. I found evidence of past life here, but no signs of it. Does the native flora and fauna hibernate when it comes to eat them, then return and repopulate once it retreats? I can feel it moving inside my brain, whispering. It wants me to discard my suit and swim. That is horrifying. And these dead planets, so not to mention horrible levels of toxicity, but also like flora and fauna. There are some animals. This little guy, I've scanned him before. He's got a real weird head thing going on, but that's like all I've seen of this planet. I've seen these two creatures, but it's not even that. Okay, there's 7 different animals on this planet. That's not bad variety, but I don't find them anywhere. Like, they're barely still on this planet, hibernating or hiding, as it was said. And we see these visions of, a creature the size of continents, oceans of blood, etc., etc. I don't know, man. That feels to me like a very cosmic horror in like the absolute version of the word. A planet-eating force that arrives and consumes everything. Now, that's not the only abandoned building that I've spotted on this planet. I actually landed at one. And then started walking around, intending to come back here and show it off at the start of this episode. But then I found another abandoned building very close by, and it makes me wonder if maybe this planet is nothing but abandoned buildings. After all, I can't imagine we're going to see any buildings teeming with life and filled with travelers from the stars, right? It's not exactly the mojo that this world is giving off. So let's go ahead and pop over to here, and we'll pick up our next abandoned building at least. I might even consider seeing what is a minute and 53 seconds that way. Tell you what, let's pop inside really quick to get some shelter from the storm, as it were. And then what all of these newfound like thermic protections and toxic suppressors allow me to basically do is come in here and recharge them. That's the real advantage. Like with the aeration membrane, I did find one planet where there were these large networks of underwater tunnels that I ended up going through. And basically what you end up doing is just every minute or so refilling the membrane so that you can keep breathing underwater. And so something similar is kind of permitted here. Although, since we can seek shelter from it, maybe it's a little bit less of an advantage on something where it's the acid rain that's so dangerous, or something like that. So if this is another abandoned building, I feel like that's gonna maybe confirm that. Although it could be any number of things. This could be like a knowledge stone for all I know. And there's another something just a minute or so that way. It seems to fit sort of a template, though. This is... oh, okay, a trade thing. If this was indoors, I might be slightly more interested in sticking around. Unfortunately, with it being outside antimatter, I can't really warrant just sort of standing out here. But it does seem to fit a template of the planets where I've discovered these abandoned buildings in the past have always been a sort of lifeless planet, or I say right as I encounter whatever that thing is. Or certainly nothing teeming with life. You know, there were survivors, but they are few and far between compared to some of the planets we might see just teeming with different species. One of the other, that might be a monument, I'm not sure. One of the other templates, for example, yeah, there's a lot of this stuff just everywhere. One of the other templates, for example, seems to be the dangerous because of Sentinels planet. Sometimes when you land and it gives you flora, fauna, Sentinel readouts, the Sentinels themselves are hostile. And those planets always seem to be littered with extremely valuable resources, specifically trade commodities like the Gravitino balls or venom sacs that sell for like 30,000 a pop. And they're just on the planet's surface. But every time you take one, it spawns angry Sentinels all around you. Let's have a little bit of trouble with this. So, like, I'm right on top of this thing. I'd like for it to realize I got here. But I don't know that it will. Okay, there we go. The memories of Retilado Abha. Korvax echoes push something traveler. Korvax echoes something technology. Tiny floating tetrahedrons emerge from the planet's surface and surround me. I try to wave them away with my multitool, but each time they swarm closer to it, as if attracted to it somehow. I raise my multitool, and they shimmer blue as they dart this way and that, closer and closer. They are within touching distance of my multitool. They make one final surge. Let them in. The multitool glows bright blue, and I have a new technology blueprint. I have learned the Atlas word for witness. Okay, so that's where I learn Atlas words from. Gotcha. Also, we got a +4 impact damage Omega. I don't know that I've ever seen an Omega blueprint. Boltcaster inflicts maximum damage on chosen target, bringing device up to the Viking standard. Charged ionized plasma shots, the very limit of physical possibility. Cool. So the Omega blueprints would seem to be, you know, the final word on upgrades, which makes sense. Also, I just got an Atlas word. It's not a Korvax or a Gek or a Viking word, but an actual Atlas word. And the only place I seem to really encounter the Atlas language has been at the Atlas interfaces, where I haven't understood a word it said to me. And I feel like I might only know... Is there any way that, like, tells me specifically how many words I know of a specific language? It doesn't seem like it. I can't really click on any of these. But I might only know like 1 or 2 Atlas words. So I'm kind of a long way from putting together anything it says to me, which is rather interesting. All right, now that we've burned through our toxicity filter there, I think it's a little bit important that I get back to my ship. We're going to hit that last abandoned building up, and then we're getting off this rock. Now, I didn't show it at the start of this video, but there is actually quite a bit of stuff around the abandoned buildings. I don't think I've gotten it for this particular one, so we're going to spend a little bit of time wandering around and grabbing things. But it's a little bit of a loot pinata filled with various containers and crates and things that we can open. And then the little, like, story beat actually inside. Okay. Just need to get inside before that hits 0. It shouldn't be too tall of an ask. These little areas are really like the only carbon that I see on planets. It's actually quite hard to find carbon out here. Zinc, plutonium, resources that oftentimes are quite difficult to come by, instead are rather plentiful on the surface of the planet, but you know, things like carbon that you would normally not think twice about are not exactly everywhere. We even got crystalline gold. Okay. And with our inventory filling up, it feels like a good time to say maybe we're done here. Let me hop in here and just clear out a few inventory slots so that I can get the loot from all this stuff. Well, I don't really need health restoration, although it, you know, is a nice thought. Thank you. I do always appreciate it. Go ahead and grab the waypoint. Very nice. And then everything else is inside. Okay. So once you get inside here, lots of jettison pods, lots of cargo drops, veritable loot pinata kind of thing. These debris that require Atlas passes to interact with. Oh, that was dumb. So what I found is, generally speaking, although that was an exception to that rule, you want to keep the single stack of items, things like fascination beads, gra-gra, electron vapors, suspension fluids. These things that you're picking up, I feel like you want to keep on your exosuit, and then other stuff you want to keep on the ship. And that has to do with the fact that the ship's stack is twice the size of your own. 500 here versus the 250 that we'd be able to keep of it on our person. So I'm trying to live by that rule. Suspension fluids, nice. A lot of the Atlas Pass V1 stuff on planets seems to give me resources that just help with the warp cell construction. Not that I'm complaining. Shielding plate. Okay. This thing also makes some really creepy, squishy sounds that are a little bit horrible. Yeah. As we get right up to it. You. And again, returning user identified, terminal now active, unlocking data log continuation. I woke from a dream where I was drowning in something thick and glutinous. It filled my pores and suffocated me. I want to believe that this is my tired mind playing tricks. I've been so long without a deep sleep. The crimson sphere shimmers at the corner of my eye whenever I try to rest. I cannot comprehend how it tracks my spore from world to world. Or is it that I'm following it? The orb cannot be in all places at once. That cannot be. Ooh. Okay, so what are we seeing here? Is this a life form that has decimated all of these planets and is everywhere? Or is it a single thing that is moving, and either we are following it or it is following us? Unfortunately, as much as we might dismiss it, I think it's in all places at once. I discovered something coded deep inside the long dead Traveler's data. Something has been left that will aid me on my own journey. Stamina enhancement Tau. Okay, not the greatest. I had another stamina enhancement. I haven't actually bothered to install it. I feel like this might have been a glitch, effectively, but I love it too much to ask for it to be taken away. This sort of sprinting jetpack jump, right? Like where you melee and then boost, and it propels you forward because the melee like propels you forward a little bit, and then the jetpack seems to kind of like just grab that inertia and run with it. It does, however, make the stamina run like not as valuable as I think it otherwise was designed to be, just because I've got another method of travel that's even more efficient. Oh, whoops. I literally... Oh boy. I literally harvested that as he was scanning it. That was probably not the smartest thing I've ever done. You know, we're probably not going to spend all that much more time on this one. I'm just going to stock up on a little bit of plutonium. It is basically the universal energy source. And then by the time he is called for reinforcements, I'm going to be off this rock. That should just about do it. Oh, glorious ship. Have spacesuit will travel. Anomaly detected. Huh. Not entirely sure what the trophy that just popped was for, as I literally just got back into my ship. There is, however, an anomaly just off planet. Let's go ahead and boost into the atmosphere so that our pulse engine comes back online. Journey milestone. Oh, that's probably what the trophy was for. Traveling 100,000 U's. Definitely U's. Okay, okay. And 3, 2, 1, space anomaly. I believe the entrance is going to be on this side. And interestingly, when you... normally, I have to hold circle in order to use my boost. When you come out of pulse drive, you're in like a natural state of constant boost. up into the point that you slow down, which is kind of nice. Alright, what do we got up here? I mean, I kind of know what we've got up here. Alright. So let's do this first. Hi, Polo. Considering I skipped it at least a couple of times. The angle... I like that they have these names. Angle of Telparleb. Because, like, mine is... Unfortunately, it's just a 10. I think mine is just, like, kind of a generic name, right? Can I see that anywhere? Doesn't seem like I can. Mine is still better, unfortunately. I'm thinking, like, the upgrades that they give you are just sort of going sequentially. The last one was much worse, but this is only one slot worse. Hopefully my... what I assume is happening is my multi-tool was upgraded through other means on a planet, and it just kind of jumped ahead. And then they're giving me multi-tool upgrades that are, like, sequentially improving. Oh, can't talk to Nada, don't have space for whatever it wants to give me. We'll go ahead and shift the plutonium over. Try that one more time. Creator of simulation, friend or foe. Paranoia imperative. Galaxy purely causal. Individualism statistical anomaly. Nada is an error. Trust Nada? Trust you? Nada stays back for me this time. The lights dance across their visor like warning symbols. Something has changed between us. Nada explains that their reasoning has advanced. They have found no room in the galaxy for free will or anything but brutal causation. They worry we are but pawns of whatever higher being created us. Puppets dancing on strings. And Nada suspects me. I am the aberration. Am I the puppet master too? That's creepy. So the simulations are saying that there's no room for free will. This is a debate, maybe much bigger than a video game, but is there free will even in our own universe? Or is ours no different from theirs? And if that is the case, what if the creator is sinister? If it is, can anyone be trusted? Alright, again, I'm going to resource to aid exploration as I head towards this waypoint that I've already got. Basically just building up. Nice! Radiation deflectors. I actually didn't have that, which is pretty cool. I may end up installing that in my ship, or in my exosuit rather, right away. Just to get another of the planet types that I can stay on a little bit longer. That would then give me heat, cold, toxic, and radiation, which might be all of them? I'm not entirely sure. And Mr. Polo. Those flying machines, those walking machines, everywhere, chase us, hurt us, stop our adventures. Bad robot. Still feeling guilty about my earlier faux pas, I attempt to greet Polo with a hug. Alarm floods the Gek's face, and they scuttle into a corner. An awkward moment passes, then Polo makes a conciliatory suggestion. Sentinels are the bane of both our lives. As I travel, I could make a point of destroying any I encounter. We might then have a better understanding of the irksome machine's weaknesses. And perhaps, then we could be friends again, too. Alright, well indeed I have destroyed enough Sentinels. Apollo tries to appear aloof, their eyes blaze with relief at the sight of me. They still care then. A small smile accompanies something. A railshot adapter, mining beam companion. I feel like I already have this. Boltcaster delivers instantaneous damage on targets. Do I not, like, literally already have this? Install. Maybe it's just like a better version. I'll be honest, I've experimented around a little bit with some of I'm looking and trying to talk at the same time. I don't actually see whatever it just gave me. I feel like it's just already installed. So it's not, maybe it's not a random pool. Like maybe he's giving me explicit things. I could just keep talking to him for more carbon. Would he just keep rewarding me? Always more to do, oh yes, but not just now, friend. Go, be free, see the stars. Can trade you tech if it will help you see more. Oh. The Gek mechanic nods familiarly at me, then offers a tired shrug. Polo is busy analyzing my most recent reports, lost in a world of data, and needs no assistance just yet. They are keen that I continue my exploration, however, and offer a range of discounted tech to further this cause. So we could buy infinite random thing. I'm gonna buy some suit tech. Clever. Strong suit. A long life. Radiation deflector Tau. Okay. So they really want me to be ready for the next radiation planet I encounter. Good, good. Let's see about maybe grabbing that upgrade. Exosuit. So go ahead and transfer. Oh, not transfer. Pick that up, throw it down there, and oh, we put that there. Right. I got an inventory upgrade. I was like, I don't even remember having a slot there. I feel like that's fine for an Atlas Pass. It's kind of like permanently in that spot anyway. Let's try installing a technology. Yeah, you can get repeats of stuff. Okay. That's good to know. I effectively paid $20,000 for something that I'd just gotten for free. So I'll produce that and then install the technology for it. And build. Nice. Now that might feel a little dumb from a gameplay perspective, but at the same time, like, well, we're just being polite, right? Like, somebody is offering us a free piece of technology, we're like, oh yes, thank you. Even if we've already got it. So it's just possible to get duplicates that way. Now, I think I'm basically done with this planetary system and ready to head on. Is this my... This is my waypoint. Okay, so so this is going to be the Atlas interface then. Let's go ahead and warp over to it. See if maybe the one word I've learned in the Atlas language since the last time we've been here gives me any leg up at all. Or if it's just more gibberish. And ponder a little bit longer the existential question of whether or not the Atlas, the creator, is friend or foe. Can it be trusted? Can anyone be trusted if we were all made by it? Are we not all agents of the Atlas? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm definitely getting some huge, sinister vibes from all this, though. I certainly don't think the Atlas is just a kind, benevolent creator in the universe. Mainly because I feel like it created the Sentinels. It might even be the source behind the pirates. Never ending, you know, always spawning. If so, why would we trust it? It's not like it gave us a free pass past the Sentinels, right? Even if it set us out on this journey, then it's got other creations that are intentionally trying to kill us. Let's go ahead and do our lap around. Man, gaining a lot of words from visiting this thing, which I love. I think we've been in Gex systems for a little while now, but I feel like the next time we encounter some Korvax, we've got to be getting up there. I wish there was a dictionary or something somewhere so that I could, like, review all of the words that I know. I wonder if then, if it wouldn't be possible to, like, share words. For example, if you look at your game where the Korvax say, you know, gobbledygook, and you look at somebody else's game where they know that word and it's translated for them, does that mean that you would be able to know gobbledygook equals that word every time? Like, is it that consistent? At which point, do there just start to become wikis of, here's the languages, never fail a request ever again, because you'll know what they all say? I wonder. I assume that they are actually consistent. I don't know. Maybe not consistent between games. It could be that like the algorithm just makes all of the words for you within your own game, and that it's unique. But I feel like within your own game, it does remain consistent, based on the number of times that you might see like a gibberish word repeated whenever they talk to you. Alright, well, that's going to do it for little white glowing orbs. We'll pick up our warp cells. Awesome. And then let's see if we understand anything it has to say. Doesn't look like it. Man, does it talk a lot. There's purpose in this, I'm certain. The wanderer's way beckons, heedless of direction, freed from all control, but balanced against it is the promise of raw knowledge. The Atlas needs me, so it may know itself. I am at the crossroads of a momentous decision. I feel it with every parsec I travel. The open stars call to me, stirring something primal and undeniable. The path toward the endpoint unfolds. I must decide where my fate lies. I will commit myself to the voyage. In all things I am ready. I will not falter. Another Atlas stone. I don't know. I haven't. Oh, and stamina enhancements. I haven't sold the last Atlas stone. I was waiting. Sometimes they are the valuable thing, and therefore, like, double the price. And I kind of wanted to wait to encounter somebody who was willing to buy it for that. I don't really know what other purpose they would serve, and I assume they're just to be sold. Although if there is a recipe that requires them, I don't know it yet. Now, we do have some planets in this system. However, we also have a very full warp drive. So what I'm thinking we're probably going to do is fly around the Atlas interface, is head to the space station so that we can get our inventory upgrade. But beyond that, I then think we're going to just get a move on. Oh, that's going to feel good. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me see if another waypoint is immediately appearing for us. Indeed there is. Another Atlas interface. One. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 jumps away. I already have enough fuel to burn straight for it. Huh. Far to jump, upgrade drive. I also haven't seen... So, let me switch to free exploration mode. So, one, it seems to give the indication that we could upgrade our drive to jump farther in one go. Something it doesn't immediately say, though, is that there are different types of stars. For example, all right, the most common is that, but see that really white thing right there? Warp reactor Theta is required to jump to it. So there are other types of planets or other types of systems to jump to that we just lack the technology to reach right now. I am very interested to see what it takes to get to those, as I've had no indication of it so far. I haven't so much as seen a blueprint of a warp drive upgrade, let alone, you know, the ability to construct one. Who knows what crazy resources it might require and how rare they might be. Alright, it's me and the merry SSE fuckular. Oh, ship. I love you. Alright. Get inside. This should give us another easy upgrade for a pretty penny, of course. We're up to like, what, 140,000 apiece? It started to increase by 20,000 each now. Still well worth the cost. And a blueprint for our troubles. Combat amplifier for our mining beam. Alright. So, I will probably just be getting a move on. Man, there's a lot of ships coming in, all of like the same variety. That's really interesting. I recognize that ship, but I don't remember. I think I've seen this one before, but I haven't seen this one. A scholar entity. I haven't seen this one often. I find it interesting that 3 of them landed. We know the word for traveler. That is for certain. Let me just take a look here. Alright, so I'm holding out for somebody to offer me double the price on Atlas stones. Otherwise, Herox, Chrysonite, Heridium, Dynamic Resonators, which I don't even know how to make. Alright, fair enough. Nothing all that exciting. Let me get in here, talk to this guy, and then I think we're going to warp ourselves right out of this system and keep moving on. Alright, Space Bartender Man, what do you got for us? He's a Divine Atlas entity. Is that a type I've seen before? Something entity Korvax echoes. Okay. The light in the electronic lifeform's masks are dim, and its voice quavers. It looks to me with mild interest, but it seems in truth as if its mind is already elsewhere. Upon seeing me approach, it slowly reaches to open the trade vault at its feet for me, but it is too late. The entity's lights fade for a final time, and all that's left is a satisfied electrical hiss. Let me actually back out of that, which you can do. Circle removes me from that, and I have to have 50 thamium, right? Just transfer it over to my suit and talk to him one more time. Also, that's a cool looking ship. That again, maybe I was wrong, or maybe the types. Yeah, like that is. I like its little extended legs. Maybe the types of ships are very dependent on which system you're in, and then once you're in that system, you see repeats over and over again. Because like I've seen, I feel like that body, but the wings weren't out; they were up as antennae, and I saw them quite frequently. I like the configuration that looks a little bit more like aeroplane-like, with extended wings. Alright, we're going to try this again. Entity, echoes, check. Let's see if we can't re-energize you. The disappointed lifeform blinks back online. It reluctantly opens the trade vault. Oh, I shouldn't have done it. I should have just let it die. Well, or at least, I don't feel like a shielding shard is worth losing standing. Okay, anything in here that is going to sell for an abnormal sum? Nothing that I have. Unfortunate. Terramin. I've never even encountered that before. Okay. Basically, I've started settling on, I'll sell the stuff that is super valuable, but otherwise I just kind of keep moving. Inventory space is becoming not a huge concern. There's a little bit of inventory management in the game, but it doesn't feel overbearing in the way that it might have at the beginning for some people. And, you know, I was just thinking... Send that back. Craft product. I think I have enough to make a magmox anytime soon. All I'm lacking is Thamium 9. You know, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna shoot up enough Thamium to craft one of those really quick. I'm interested. Like, the craft recipe tells me they sell for like a whole lot. But I'm interested exactly how much that would be. And if we can encounter, you know, anywhere that doubles the price of them, like, that seems like a really good deal. A little bit too far away. This is a little closer. It's just needing about 100, right? And since the photon cannon, like, literally never needs to be recharged, from what I can tell, it just sits at 0. And so, like, you can never get broken or stranded, because you could always just produce more Thamium 9. Okay. Crafted one there. It says it's worth 30,000 each. Send over this and craft product. How close am I? Again, just lacking a little Thamium. 300 plutonium and Thamium. 20. So... quick math in head. So that's worth like 6,000, 12,000. So it basically doubles the value. Oh boy. It basically seems like it doubles the value by crafting it. That is my understanding, at least. We've also got some hostile ships inbound. Maybe? Yes, no? We do see a distress call over there. I'm likely not that interested in it. Okay. That gives me another 300 and craft product. It's really cool that I just kind of have a way to make money now. There's literally a crafting recipe that's just like as much cash as you would like. Plutonium is really common, carbon's really common, Thamium's really common. The value of that is quite high. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and get a move on towards the next Atlas interface. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, feel free to subscribe. There's lots more on the channel. Leave a like or a comment if you've got anything to say about this or any of my other videos. And I will catch you guys next time.